Hurts is not too strong a word. It is, in fact, probably insufficient. A word calibrated to the ordinary experience of mild relational discomfort, rather than to the specific, multi-layered, interior disrupting experience of the avoidant who encounters the evidence of your romantic life with someone else. The word is used because it is the most honest available word that does not veer into the hyperbole that the avoidance management system would immediately deploy to dismiss the claim. The avoidant, encountering the evidence of you with someone else, would resist the word hurts, would apply the narrative frameworks that position the feeling as something more manageable, interest, mild surprise, vague awareness that things have moved on. The management is expert at these reframings. But underneath the reframings, in the interior where the honest accounting lives, hurts is the accurate word. And understanding why it hurts, specifically, structurally, in the particular ways that the avoidance psychology makes this specific situation uniquely painful, is the most honest available examination of what the evidence of your life with someone else actually produces in the person who could not love you the way you deserved to be loved. The first layer of the hurt is the one that seems most obvious from the outside and is, paradoxically, the least psychologically interesting. It is the simple, straightforward, entirely human experience of caring about someone and seeing them choose someone else. The avoidant has genuine feelings for you. This has been established across many pieces, and the establishment holds here. Those genuine feelings do not disappear when the connection ends or when the distance establishes itself as the operative condition of whatever remains of the relationship. They persist in the interior. In the nighttime hours examined in the piece on what avoidants do when they miss you. In the permanent bonding that the previous piece examined. They persist in the specific, irreplaceable, this person only form that genuine attachment always takes. And the person the avoidant has genuine, persisting, specifically you feelings for is now in someone else's company, in someone else's warmth, being known by someone else's attention, having their specific, irreplaceable qualities received and valued and responded to by someone who is, and this is the thing the avoidant's interior registers with the specific, unwanted precision of their characteristic perceptiveness, actually showing up, actually choosing, actually doing the consistent, present, daily choosing that the avoidant knows, with the honest knowledge of someone who is reckoning with their own failures they did not do. This layer of the hurt is real, but it is the surface layer. The deeper layers are where the avoidant's specific psychology makes the hurt something more complex and more specifically devastating than the ordinary hurt of seeing someone you care about with someone else. The second layer is the comparison. Not the comparison of the new person against the avoidant in any abstract quality assessment sense, though that may be present. The specific interior, unavoidable comparison of what the new person is doing and what the avoidant did not do. The new person is present in the visible, consistent, daily choosing way that presence means when it is real rather than managed. They are showing up in the specific ways that the avoidant knows you needed showing up, the ways that you expressed through the honest communication of your needs during the connection, or through the clear evidence of what was missing and what the missing was costing you. The new person is meeting what the avoidant consistently, across the duration of the connection, failed to meet. Not from insufficient caring, from insufficient capacity at the time, from the fear that governed the capacity, from the management protocol that produced the distance when the closeness was what the connection required. The avoidant sees this, with the perceptiveness that has always been one of their most consistent and most involuntary qualities. The monitoring system, which ran continuously during the connection, assessing the level of intimacy pressure your orientation toward the avoidant was generating, is now processing the evidence of your orientation toward someone else. And the processing is not neutral. It is producing the specific reading of this person is receiving what you needed. This person is being, for you, what you asked me to be and what I could not consistently be. This person is showing up in the ways that the management prevented me from showing up. The comparison is not the comparison of worth, it is the comparison of capacity. And the capacity comparison lands in the avoidance interior with the weight of the too late realization examined in that piece, the recognition, now made concrete and undeniable through the visible evidence of someone else succeeding, where the avoidant failed, that the failing was not inevitable. That the capacity you needed in a partner exists, that the consistent, present choosing behavior you deserved from the avoidant was not some impossible standard you were wrong to hold. It was simply a standard that the avoidance fear prevented them from meeting, and that the new person, for whatever combination of their own psychological development and genuine caring for you, is meeting. The third layer is the one that is most specific to the avoidance psychology and most specifically devastating in its operation. It is the encounter with the evidence that you are not defined by the connection that the avoidant failed to adequately meet. Throughout the connection, and in many cases throughout the aftermath of the connection, the avoidant's self-concept has maintained, however unconsciously, a particular relationship with your attachment to them. The relationship that the self-sufficiency narrative requires, the assumption that your caring for the avoidant, your investment in the connection, your orientation toward them is in some sense particular to them, is the expression of a specific, ongoing, directed at the avoidant quality of your feeling that the avoidant can, however inadequately they reciprocate it, take as a background feature of the relational landscape. The new person dismantles this. Not dramatically, not through any confrontational challenge to the assumption, through the simple, undeniable, entirely honest evidence of you in a relationship with someone else, which is the evidence that the orientation is not particular to the avoidant, that the caring is yours to direct, that the investment the avoidant was receiving, and however inadequately they responded to it, they were receiving it, it was present in their world as a resource they drew on without fully acknowledging the drawing, is now directed elsewhere, towards someone who, by the visible evidence of your genuine engagement with them, is receiving it. The assumption was wrong. You were not permanently oriented toward the avoidant. You were choosing, across the duration of the connection and the duration of the aftermath, to remain available. And the choosing, like all genuine choices, was subject to revision. The revision has occurred, and the evidence of the revision, you, genuinely engaged with someone else, is the specific, undeniable, cannot be reframed within the narrative proof that the background assumption was never the solid ground it was functioning as. The fourth layer is perhaps the quietest and the most specifically painful. It is the encounter with the evidence of your continued value. The avoidant who has been carrying the too late realization, the regret, the specific weight of having let someone genuinely valuable slip through the management's grip, this avoidant has been carrying those things in the somewhat contained form of interior knowledge. The knowledge is real, the regret is real, but it has been interior, private, not externally confirmed or challenged by the ongoing evidence of the world. The new person is the world confirming the interior knowledge. Someone else has assessed you, has encountered you in your genuine, full, post-avoidant connection form, and has found you worth choosing, worth pursuing, worth the consistent, present, daily choosing investment of genuine partnership. The confirmation is not theoretical. It is visible. It is the external world's verdict on your worth, arriving in exactly the form that would be most informative to someone who has been carrying the private knowledge of their own failure to adequately honor that worth. The hurt of this layer is the specific hurt of confirmation arriving too late, of the worth the avoidant always knew you had being now visibly, externally confirmed in exactly the way that the avoidant's own behavior never quite confirmed it during the connection, of someone else recognizing and showing up for the thing the avoidant recognized but could not consistently show up for. What this means for you is not a prescription for behavior. The fact that the avoidant is hurt by the evidence of your life with someone else is not a reason to modify that life in any direction, not toward making the evidence more visible as a form of communication, and not toward hiding the evidence out of concern for the avoidant's experience of it. Your life is yours. The choices you make in it are yours. The fact that those choices produce a specific interior experience in the avoidant is a truth about the avoidant's interior, not a claim on your behavior. But the hurt is real, and understanding that it is real, that the evidence of your moving on genuinely and fully into a life that includes genuine partnership with someone else, produces in the avoidant a specific, multi-layered, management-taxing interior experience is useful information for the story you are telling about what the connection was and what it meant. The avoidant cannot see you dating someone else without it hurting, because the seeing confirms everything the interior has already been saying, that you are worth the choosing, that you are being chosen, that the choosing is possible, not some impossible standard that the avoidant was unfairly held to, but the ordinary, available, entirely achievable act of someone who has the capacity doing it, and that the avoidant, who had both the feeling and the perceived insufficiency of capacity, is now living in the specific and permanent knowledge of what the insufficiency cost. The hurt is not your responsibility, but it is real as the love that produced it, as real as the value it is confirming, as real as the choice you made, finally, completely for yourself, to be with someone who could actually show up,